Hey guys, it is Quincy with a slightly better wife.com, here to talk to you about all things road tripping with kids, snacks on the go, and just how you can make the most of meals in your minivan. I drive a Chrysler Town and Country, and one of the things I like the most about mine is that it has this little center console area, which I will get into and show you in a minute, but where it slides back and I can store things in it like cups, which are great for dishing out like chips or popcorn or those kind of snacks, pretzels. We also have these little boat containers. We have them for tacos. And so we use that kind of stuff on the go. I don't buy this stuff on purpose, thinking of road trips. It's just things that are like left over from parties, or if they were on a really deep clearance. We have a tote in our basement. We call our disposables tote, and we keep those things in there. These were left over from my daughter's graduation back in 2021. It's just a fork, a wet nap, and a napkin. So that is great. Of course, I'm sure all moms here have like the whole stack of napkins in the glove box. We're all gluten-free here in our family, so we don't eat out a whole lot. We do eat at Chipotle's. We have some of those napkins, but I just had some cheap napkins that we had in the house that I had brought for that. Whenever we get extra like plastic cutlery somewhere, I just keep that in a bread bag in the glove box just to keep all the dust and stuff off of it. So we do have some of those kind of things in here as well. Like say we were to pick up, I don't know, something like cut cantaloupe or something like that we could eat. On my son's 7th birthday, we had a little picnic in the car and we had gotten pickles. And I was like, oh, I'm so glad we have forks in here so we can have pickles, just some kind of fun snack. So these are some of my tips. So if you have something like popcorn or pretzels that you're going to dish out, stick them in a cup that you can hand to the back. It's great that they can go in the cup holders as well. I will show you a little cup holder trick we have in our van for sending those to the back. Here are some things that you can get at the Dollar Tree. All of these things are gluten-free. Obviously, disclaimer, they're maybe not the healthiest things, but if you're on a road trip and you need something quick, pull into a Dollar Tree and look for these things. So this one here, of course, popcorn, great snack. Be careful with young kids, of course, as a choking hazard, but maybe for your older kiddos, popcorn is good. These smoothies are actually surprisingly good. This one has mango juice, banana puree, passion fruit juice, apple puree. Apple juice is an antioxidant and ascorbic acid. And so fairly clean, you know, like things we can mostly pronounce and that kind of thing. These are so good. Our oldest daughter got them for us for Christmas as a little stocking stuffer. And I just found that we really liked them. So that is a great on-the-go snack you can find at Dollar Tree that are gluten-free. Asparagus. Did you know you can get gluten-free asparagus? Of course, asparagus is gluten-free, but it doesn't have the additives or anything in it. It's water, green asparagus, salt, and citric acid. And so that is also something you can get at Dollar Tree. Now, this would not be a road trip snack, but they do have some seasonings that are specifically labeled gluten-free, like this one. These little applesauce pouches, these are great for your little kids, especially. For older kids and teenagers, they maybe don't quite fill them up as well, but we have a 1-year-old, and so this kind of pouch is great. Again, something like this, I probably wouldn't just hand back to him, but that we could stand at the side of the road and feed to him or at a rest stop. Great, great snack idea. These applesauce pouches. Oh, it's a beautiful breeze out here. I love it. And then this is very similar. It's pineapple and banana, fruit puree. Fruit puree. I don't know why that one's just not coming out right. But those are some gluten-free snacks on the go. If you, sometimes you end up just somewhere that like you didn't plan that you were going to be on a road trip. You didn't plan that you were going to be like eating on the go. You guys know that like my mom just had a double lung transplant. And so there were some times where we were headed to the hospital, or over the last 5 years with her being on oxygen, where it was like, oh, we're going to go to the hospital right now. And so we would just have to grab something on the go and have quick snacks. And so not your healthiest options, but it's something that works to nourish your bodies. In the house, I do keep like beef sticks on hand, bars, and those kind of things that we can take quickly, trying to avoid chocolate. I try not to leave much for snacks in the car just because here in North Iowa, we have such temperature changes. And so sometimes we'll go to open something and you're like, oh, that's not what I imagined it was going to be like. So let me get in here and show you guys what I really like about this thing back here. So this is the center console, and it can slide to the middle of the back seat. Let me turn the camera around and show you. Okay, I had to call in some help for this one. So say you are in the front and you want to send some snacks to this next row back. So on the Chrysler Town and Country, yep, you can slide that one. And then there's actually an additional little lever. And so you can slide quite a ways to the back seat. A lot of people don't know about that one. So there's where that would end up, right here in between those two seats. Now, like this other one we've got is a rear-facing infant, and so obviously he can't reach his own snacks. But this one here, sometimes if you have kiddos in car seats, they won't be able to reach well. Great for your older kiddos. The van here in the door does have a cup holder, but it is really, it's like way down here, which ends up, right over here, like by their feet. But that is actually really difficult to reach. So being able to use that center console and send it back all the way, super, super helpful. And don't worry that you've lost your cup holders, because there are plenty here in the front of the van. There's actually cup holders in every door, including the driver and passenger door, the back two passenger doors. The very back third row has a couple of cup holders. That is one thing they did very well in this van. Another thing that is super helpful, oh, you guys, if you knew how warm it is here, that wind is great. Hang on, let me go chase that down a second. Take two. It's starting to get a little bit busy out here. The kids are taking off for their activities. My husband just got home from work. So let me finish this part up really quick. One thing that has been super helpful for us is having, we call it Phil, because it clearly says its name is Phil, which is funny because that's my dad's name. So they're like, Grandpa Phil, the garbage can Phil, which one is it? So we have this, which it holds a whole lot. And so this just clips on to one of the headrests in the back. And so the kids can throw their garbage in there. So much nicer than if it were to hit the floor, be shoved into a cup holder. It's just nice having one garbage. It's a luxury item. Growing up, we just had like a plastic Walmart sack, that kind of thing, which works just fine. Which that is something that I'll often do in the front seat. Just stick a Walmart bag, plastic, so whatever you guys have for stores, stick a plastic sack over the armrest. There's not one on this side, so let me show you here what I mean. Like on this armrest right here, I'll stick a sack and then I'll stick it up, so it kind of holds it there a little bit snugger. Hopefully this has been helpful to you. Just some quick, simple tips, things you can grab on the go, where to store your snacks in the car, different kinds of things you can use. I mean, your cups don't all need to match, right? Any kind of leftover containers that you have, you can use. Store them in that center console. Or we also have, we call it the well of the van, underneath in the back of our van here, under the seats. There's a spot that goes down into the floor. And so we will sometimes stick things like the extra cutlery and disposable stuff down there, so we can pull those out easy if we needed this for something different. Couple other things that I always keep on hand in my van. Obviously, first aid kit. I think we actually have 3 first aid kits in here. We don't need them often, but there's an occasional time where you need a Band-Aid or an alcohol wipe. One of these, this is a seatbelt cutter. If you were in an accident, if you need to be able to cut your seatbelt, it also has a glass breaker. God forbid, I hope you never need to use one, but if you did, good thing to have. And then this little tool called a bug bite thing. You guys, it sounds ridiculous. It works off of suction, but it works. You stick it on a bug bite, you pull up, it kind of releases that stuff in there and it takes away the itch so fast and it makes your bug bites go down. So these are some handy tools. So the bug bite thing, a seatbelt cutter tool, and then also a first aid kit. So I will show those, some links to those or something similar to them. Some of those are kind of old, in the description box down below. If you guys have any road trip tips, things like that you want to share, throw them in the comments. I would love to hear. Thanks for watching. And as always, go out and do something awesome. See ya. One more thing real quick. Welcome to my kitchen. This is completely unstaged. So if you're curious about any of the random things that you see, just ask. That's fine. If you're looking like, hey, I don't really have a lot of time to do road trips, to intentionally take my kids to the park, to run to the next town and even get groceries. Like everything just feels so busy. And you feel like every day at the end of the day, you're like, I was so busy, but I don't know what I got done because I just didn't feel very productive. I hear you. We can be really busy without being productive. So one thing that I found has been so helpful for our family this year, which was a major splurge item for us. I know for other families it may not be. It was this skylight calendar. I have another video where I really share in depth how we use it for our home and for homeschooling, for the chores and just integrating the calendars. But I just want to flip this around and show you guys really quick how well this is working for us. The things I love about, the things I got it for in the first place was the chore chart. The chore chart has revolutionized how well we take care of our home. It has made it so I don't have to keep giving the kids verbal commands and reminding them all the time to do their chores. And it's just been really fun for them that they can come along, find their name, find their list of chores, and check them off. So that's what's here. I'm going to go ahead and turn this around and get a little bit closer view so you can see what it's like for yourself. Here is a closer look at the skylight. I have it right now on the chores setting. This is the 15-inch version. They also have a 10, which is the same size as the Echo Show that we have, and I thought that'd just be a little bit too small for our family. They're also coming out with a Max, or I think it's called this, a 27-inch, and that's just way too big for our family, and so the 15-inch is really the sweet spot. So I have our chores set up. This is like family stuff to do, and then they're alphabetical, so you can put numbers in front. So I did that for our homeschool subjects for each kid. And then we get into each person, including my husband and I, have our section of chores and things to do for the day. So like check dishes before dad gets home, duty. And it will tell you, you can put a time in there. It'll tell you if it's an hour late, a day late, a week late. And you can also, if you don't want your chores to reoccur, or if you don't want them not reoccur, what's the word I'm looking for? Like if you've missed a day and you don't want it to show up the next day, you're like, hey, my kid skipped a chore, no big deal, they're 4 or whatever, you can have it so it hides the chores. And so don't worry about that. That's also an option that you can use. So each kid has a chore. I'll just click it on this one, oil swing set. When you get this done, all your chores are done, it celebrates you and it's like, yay, you did this. So I have just gone into the Skylight app on my phone. You can also add things from here. And I have added absolutely everything that needs to get done to keep this house running smooth. And when it gets done, things are good here. We have more time in our day to do things. Because let's face it, most of the chores that we do, they don't take very long to actually get done. It's just we don't think about doing them. We're not being productive with our time. So perfect. Love the chore chart. You can also make lists, and you can make your list for whatever you want it to be. So this is like things I wanted to do over last weekend, a grocery list, an air fryer recipe. These are things I want to take to my parents' house and try in their air fryer. Things we want to get done around the home. My husband and son are going to New Orleans, and so just things that we need to get for them. It's great for that. I know there are so many other list apps, but to have something like this where, yes, it's on my phone and I can use it. My husband has it on his phone, but then my kids can use it as well right here on this screen without having to be on a phone or a device that's connected to the internet. I think it's genius. I love it. The calendar feature is so nice. I love that I can click on each person and I can just see like only that person's event. So if I'm like, hey, I'm trying to schedule a date for Maddie and I to go out for coffee, hey, I can see when she's busy and when she is free. Or if we're trying to find something to do for the whole family, we can look at it and we go, okay, it looks like if we're going to do something together, it's going to have to be the 8th or the 9th, or it's going to interrupt an episode of Young Sheldon. So it's been really nice to have that, just that feature of being able to see the calendar all together integrated. Again, yes, we have this on our phones. We have it integrated through a Google Calendar. But for the kids to be able to come up and see it themselves and not be on a phone, I just think that is incredible. Now, this does put off a blue light into the room. It is not a big deal during the day. I do have it set to go off at 9 o'clock and turn on again at 9 a.m. But if you were like, too much screen, don't need it for whatever reason, or you didn't want it showing, say you had somebody coming over and you're like, I don't want them to really see our calendar, just throw it into sleep mode. Just puts it into a black screen. You touch it again to turn it back on. So, and there are plenty of different settings and things that you can change on here. I just think this thing has really given us a lot more time in our day. I know this is a video about road tripping and snacks and gluten-free on the go and all these kinds of things. And I don't want to throw one more thing in to throw a wrench in it for you, but I really only want to share things that have brought our family really great value. And so that's how I feel about the Skylight. It has been so valuable for us. I do have a code I'll throw down below for $20 off if you're interested. If you're not, that's okay. Just ignore this part of the video. It is not a big deal. I was a paper and pencil gal for a very long time. And then I moved into making lists on the computer. And I still think writing stuff on the back of an old envelope, it's super productive. It works. It gets stuff done. But if you're looking for something that you can integrate for the whole entire family, consider the Skylight. Happy road tripping. Happy summer. I hope you guys all have a great day.